welcome to a special edition of Crawford County Outdoors. I'm Duane Koller, joined by Cole Finton. Cole, thanks for coming back.
Nice to see
we
you.
got not too awful long to you're heading out to college here,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
We're going to have to arrange our schedule so we can catch, vacations and that kind of stuff. But I thought it would be a good thing that if we came up with another project here before you go. I need some more of these chairs. And B, because Chef Lisa, we haven't had her on in a while, so she likes to do a little outside cooking. This was a great plan of having an outside working project today and outside cooking with Lisa. And of course, the storm rolled through unexpectedly. So we're going to be in the garage here. So I already apologize up front for not cleaning up the garage because I thought we were going to be outside. This project's called a Daytripper chair that I got this guide from a book, an outdoor furniture book. And this one has served well for about 10 years over at my family's place over at Canandaigua Lake, sitting out by the campfire. And as you can tell from looking at it kind of up close, it's been painted and repainted probably about 3 or 4. I can see some red coming through and some green and this bluish color on the outside. And I'm not sure, purple maybe down the side. So it's been repainted 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you can see that.
But actually it's held up pretty well. And for a relatively easy project that I think folks might even want to take this on, it makes for a really comfortable chair and sturdy. And a couple of things about this that I wanted to point out. When you go to, this is one when you go to take and put it away for the winter, it's a real simple little lift and it comes apart into 2 very light pieces. And if you do it just right, they even kind of stack together, taking up less room in the in the garage or shed or whatever. So I like this. I like this chair, and its original design, I think, from the recipe. It's not a recipe, but from the recipe. It shows you to make these pieces out of oak or some nice. So I think that the original designer made these brace pieces out of plywood. So I think the designer was thinking more like on a porch, or something like that. Maybe not necessarily like I used at a campfire.
Right.
But for my place, it actually works great. So one of the reasons why it's comfortable is that little bit of a curve to the back, and then a little curve to the seat part. And then these support boards, this one here in the front, and then the one on the back of the leg piece and the back of the brace on the back, lock together and make it very sturdy. So anyways, my change in the plan was instead of making this out of plywood, I tried that the first time. It only lasted about a year.
Right.
So I replaced it with wood. Now this was poplar wood. And it's done okay, but we have pressure treated wood and hemlock, and then we'll make these pieces. And I think if we make them a little bit wider, the pieces that seemed to fail were when this was made out of plywood, and when these pieces were this thin, kind of 1-inch piece. So made these a little bit wider. So you and I jumped the gun here on the start of the show, but we'll show everybody how we made those. They're going to be closer to 2 inches, so we won't need as many. And I think they'll be stronger that way. And hopefully I'll get another 10 years out of the new ones. So let's start on some of the components.
Okay.
Just like that out of the way for now. Thank you for cutting these ahead of time, Cole.
Yeah.
We're going to use, this is larch, like we used on the project with the Adirondack chair last year.
Right.
It sands down really nice, makes a nice smooth, no splinters, all that kind of stuff. The hemlock doesn't get nearly as smooth, but you don't touch that part. So let's run this through the planer, and we really only have to run one side through. So we only need one smooth side, and then we'll round the edges off using our router here. So. Oh, safety glasses.
Yep.
I got mine, you got yours?
Yep.
The planer has blades in there that rotate as that board's being forced through, and it makes the 2 sides of the board parallel. So it's not going to smooth out if you have a board that has a curve to it. It's still going to have the curve to it coming out, but it'll smooth off one side. So Cole, you're going to take now we put a round off bit here in our
router table.
And this guide will allow us to kind of run right across that round off, and it'll make a nice round edge all the way around. So Cole, you want to take those through, and then we can get on with our next pieces. right, that looks good. Good.
And it rounds it off so that when you sit
you
on
won't
it,
have any,
you won't get
have any sharp.
edge.
Cool. All right. Now, this chair has a back, and of course this will be our back, and then of course the front piece comes the other way, and it's a little bit shorter, but it's the same arc. And if you want to be real particular than I'm not, I know you're more particular about this kind of stuff than I am. It shows you in the plan that this is a 50.34 degree. I'm sorry, that would be your radius of your circle. Inside 48 exactly. So, and the same on the back. So I'm just going to use the back pieces that I already made as a guide to make my front piece, my seat support. And again, I'm not that particular, and I don't. If it isn't exactly 50 and 48, that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. So I made these pieces ahead of time just to save us a little time today. And I had some leftover deck boards, and so that won't warp. I mean, that won't warp, it won't rot. So we need, the front pieces were 42 inches, I believe, and the backs, and the seat support is, the front piece was 41, and the seat support is 32 and a half. So I need it to be this long. So I'm going to use this one as a guide. I got a knot there. I'm going to avoid that knot. So make a nice mark that I can follow pretty easily. A little rounded spot where it connects to the ground. And then now I got to make sure I make my curve the right way. So this piece, the outside of the curve, the pieces are going to be put on that way. So I'm rounding off this way. And again, if you want to get out a compass and measure, and all good. To make me happy, that's not necessary. So, Cole, if you wouldn't mind helping me hold this, I'll run the jigsaw.
Okay.
And you never have enough hands to hold and do this all at the same time. So. All right, now we'll use this as a template to make the second one. Now, if you want to, again, this project, it doesn't really matter that much, but if you want to take the two and clamp them together and take them to your sander and make them exactly matching and perfect and all that kind of stuff, that's, I can see where a lot of folks would want to do that, especially if it is going to be a chair you're going to use on the porch. But for using it at the campfire, I just don't want it to go into the campfire. So it doesn't have to be perfection for the use this particular chair is going to have. Just need a nice dark line that I can follow. Appreciate you holding. That's the hardest thing, is to try and do this with skating all over the place. There we go. All right, so let's see. Maybe if we move our sawhorses closer together. Will that work? I'll just go halfway. going to sort of assume the power is going to stay on today, even though it's stormy outside. All right.